Hello, rock stars, and welcome to Social Hour. My name is HollyAnne, Knight of String and Story, and it is my job to guide you to quote with confidence. Now, those of you who are familiar with Social Hour know that this is a time where we play a little bit of show and tell with stuff that has come into the shop. We work on some applique with Aurifil color builders, and we generally just chat it up. I did mention in the caption of this, if you read that ahead of time, that we're soon going to be taking the social hour we've been doing. For those of you who are watching from the Quilting Rockstars Facebook group, Darcy and I have been brainstorming some ways because y'all have given us such amazing feedback on enjoying the two of us being on a video together. We've been brainstorming some amazing ways to actually be here on YouTube on Thursdays starting in August. So for those of you who are tuning in on YouTube, if you're like, I haven't seen this before, how come I haven't seen it? Well, we've been doing this inside a Facebook group for years now. And as we are getting more and more folks joining us across multiple platforms, we're realizing that YouTube may be a good central place. So whether you are watching on YouTube or watching in our Facebook group, will you please jump in the chat for me? If you are in the Facebook group, you may need to register your name with StreamYard. There should be a link in the bottom of the caption of the video just so that I can see your name, so I can actually call you by name. But go ahead and say hi. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And as you can see in front of me, I have a massive amount of show and tell for y'all this morning. I don't think I've ever had so many new things to show y'all at once. And I have to be honest, some of them I didn't know were going to be here in time. And I'm so excited that they are, because I don't know about where all y'all are, but here we're right in the middle of July. We've got a good month and a half, 2 months left of really summery weather. Honestly, maybe even a little bit more because I live in Georgia. And this is going to be our last shipment of really fabulously summer fabrics. And I'm just so excited for some end of summer quilting with it, right? You can see here we've got some fall things starting to come in, and we have a whole pile up of kits to share with y'all. So if you are here, let me see. You'll see, I see Christina, Amy, Yvonne, Susan, huzzah. Vera, Nancy, welcome. Yes, Yvonne, you did already register because I can see your name over here on the back end. Wonderful. Doing dishes while listening. This will be a good distraction. I'm delighted. Listen, I don't know if y'all can y'all can't fully see this. I have so many things to show you that I have bolts over here on the floor too. All right. So where should we begin? Drop in the chat where you want me to begin. Do you want me to begin with kits? Do you want me to start with bolts? Do you want me to start with thread? Because I do have some thread updates. While y'all are typing, I can see your comment, and I will tap over to Facebook to see who you are. Debbie, I'm thrilled that you're here. Bolts, says Yvonne. So while y'all are typing that, let me just take a moment first and say thank you. Y'all, it was so special to have Kate Brennan join us from Aurifil last week. Kate is a dear friend of mine, and I was already delighted to have her come into town. But let me tell you what, y'all's enthusiasm made an already really fun and special week even more fun and special. We had so much fun doing Aurifilosophy with y'all. We had so much fun going live on YouTube on Friday and talking about English paper piecing. And let me tell you what, y'all blew our minds with all the shopping you did with us, with all of your wonderful comments, with the great questions you asked. It was such a delight. So thank you not only for your support of String and Story, but thank you for making Kate's visit so special. I know she felt really welcome and really loved, and we so appreciate y'all for that, okay? All right, I'm seeing some kits and thread. I'm seeing some bolts. So far, I have 2 votes for bolts and 2 votes for thread. So I'm going to give y'all another minute. Y'all can duke it out in the comments. Because let me tell you, it is fun. In fact, you know what? I will segue us from Kate to thread. I'll do that, and then we'll do bolts, and then we'll do kits. Deal? Okay. And then I will do a quick review at the end. I promise I do have some sewing to do, and I will bring y'all around so you're not just seeing the bolts the whole entire time. But let's start with thread. First of all, we do have more Aurifil thread color cards in stock. This is something that we kept after Kate headed back to Chicago. If you've never seen one of these in person, they are truly striking. What I love is they actually have 40-weight thread wound around the card. So you're not seeing a printed picture of an approximation of the thread. You're seeing an actual sample of the thread itself. And that makes this really, really wonderful as a reference guide. Okay. It also has things like washing instructions and some guides on these folding pages of what colors come in what thread weight. So if you are someone who doesn't necessarily like to buy huge kits, you like to buy thread project by project, having a color card for thread or a color card for solids, these are must-have tools in your sewing room, especially with all the online shopping we do now. So this is the paintbrush color card. And as you can see, this as well, it has actual samples of the fabric glued here onto the card so that you can really see what color you will be working with. Okay, so first up, color cards. Those are available in the shop. Last week, those of you who joined me for Social Hour, as Kate was getting here and getting settled, we had a lengthy conversation about what to do. Oh, good. My head's not cut off. I can stand all the way up. We had a lengthy conversation about what to do about the fact that Paintbrush has recently released 42 new solids. And while they're going to do a full update of the color card, they're not going to create just an insert that if you already have invested in a color card, that you can just get that piece. You'd have to buy a whole new one. And I know some of y'all, you're going to prefer that anyway. And when we get new color cards, that's going to be your jam. But for those of you who would just prefer, you want a sample of each color, and you're not necessarily married to the idea of it being attached to the card in this format, or you're going to make little magnetic swatches of it anyway, we put together 5-inch square packs. These are only 12 bucks. And we listed on this sheet of paper that's tied to the back the order in which these are stacked. So because it's a 5-inch square, that gives you enough that you could cut out a 1-inch square to make a little sample card for yourself that's similar to these, but it also gives you a usable amount of fabric. So if you're doing EPP, if you like to sew with scraps, you could even weave these in if you're doing Aurifil color builders with me this year, and you want to change up some of the colors in your applique. These would be usable pieces of fabric for you to get to try out all 42 of those colors. They're really, really beautiful. There's some earthier tones in there that fills in some of the gaps of the rainbow of the other colors that Paintbrush has put out. Absolutely stunning. We made a bunch of these for y'all because that was the easiest way to do that update. All right. Thread. Speaking of color builders, so last week, as y'all know, hello, everyone. And y'all feel free to interrupt me at any point with any questions you have, okay? Last week, as y'all know, Kate brought down some special thread kits that we don't normally keep in stock here at String and Story. I want y'all to know she went home with very few boxes, So mission accomplished, which was awesome. But I realized that being able to buy threads, whether it was a collection of different weights to try out or being able to pick your favorite color and have a few different spools in that color, y'all got really excited about having new threads to try. And those of you who are already doing Aurifil color builders with me this year, you're part of the subscription where you're getting these boxes each month along with the applique pattern. But I know some of y'all, you're like, well, I quilt with like 3 or 4 like main colors, and I just want to be able to expand my palette a little bit. So we have actually added these thread boxes that you can purchase them a la carte in the shop. Now, it does not include the pattern, so it's not part of the subscription. But if you're like, the whole subscription wasn't really for me, but I really do like July's box, or I really did like April's box, you can now get these in the shop. It is 3 spools of the same color family, but it's a light, a medium, and a dark, and 2 of them are variegated and 1 is solid. So this was the pink water lily. I know y'all won't be able to see this super well, but there are fabulous photos on the website, okay? These are just a few of my favorites. Passion flower was one of my favorites. These blues, they're absolutely stunning. And then this bird of paradise, whoops, if I can get this little cover back on here, is actually this month's box. And y'all, that pinky orange variegated over in the corner there, oh my gosh, it's to die for, okay? So we now have 7 different boxes available of these. Obviously, that will grow as the year continues on, okay? So you'll be able to try out some variegateds, try out some new solids as well. All right, let me answer questions. Those 5-inch squares, isn't that great? Oh my gosh. Let's see. One of y'all said, remind me please to find the instructions for making the magnetic board for fabric swatches. Give me a hot second and I will grab you the blog link on that. What did I call it? Bum, bum, bum. Let's see if this comes up. Yes, here we go. So I have, it's stringandstory.com/blog/color card. Here we go. All right, so well, it posted to YouTube. I'm not sure that it posted to Facebook. All right, there we have it. So I posted the blog link so that y'all can make those magnetic swatches. Let me tell you, our magnetic color board. I can show you all the mini one that we made for the 42 new colors, you know, because we need one more thing over on my table right now. This is one of the most popular things we have in the shop. Folks drive across town to come play with this because by putting just one color, these are like 1 inch by 2 inch little pieces of cardstock I cut out. I bought pre-stickied 1 inch magnets, and then I just simply wrote the color and the number on here. And then I bought these little metal magnetic boards on Amazon, and folks love to come in because you can play around with these and pick out the 6 or 7 colors you need without having to pull bolts off the wall, right? So you can move them around and put them next to each other and see how the color combination is going to look without having to tear everything apart. And we have folks come in who like, they prefer to play with bolts. That's awesome. We love that. That's why the bolts are here. But sometimes that can be really heavy and tedious. So this provides a really fabulous alternative. So that's the blog link that I just dropped down in the chat. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, the charm pack, the 5-inch squares, that's available in the shop because I had Amy spend all day on Friday cutting those for y'all. Because after our talk last week, I was like, we gotta get a solution. I heard back from Paintbrush, knew they weren't gonna make a color card update, just brand new color cards. So we've got y'all's back, okay? All right, let's do bolts, shall we? All right, let's start with these fall bolts. So y'all have seen we've had this Woodland Creatures flat stack. We actually cut this one up so it looks like a typical fat quarter bundle. We've had this Woodland Creatures flat stack for a minute, but we finally got some bolts in of this fabric. So if you're already thinking ahead to fall, then this might be the collection for you. This is Woodland Creatures by Lauren Leslie Designs. My favorite thing to brag about with Lauren is that she's local. So she's here in Atlanta, and that was something that really caught my attention when I was picking out this fabric. We had, let's see, did she do Vibrant Blooms as well? No, she did Belize. She did the Belize line that we have as well. And I just love getting to support another local artist. So you can see here, we've got 4 different bolts. We've got the trees. This is a really fiery print. We have this yellow with little whimsical bits on it. The white mushroom outlines, which I just think are darling. And the bolt that we just got in yesterday is this medallion, red medallion bolt. And let me tell you, I think this would be a fabulous backing for one of the quilts I'd actually recommend to make with this line, which is Toad & Sew's new Sky Cabin. So this is the new Sky Cabin pattern. This is the baby size, and Darcy just finished this quilt top yesterday. Yes, we have a kit for it. And I'm obsessed. It's a perfect fall quilt, and especially with these reds and greens, it could go on into Christmas. So if you're planning on making this, we have one baby kit cut already. I've got enough fabric to cut another throw size kit, and this medallion would make a gorgeous, gorgeous backing. Or if you want to sample a little bit of everything from this line and see all the little bits and bobs that are in it, we do have these 2 flat stacks left. All right. Here's the Toad & Sew kit, by the way. It has a little bit of the Fableism sprout woven in it just to add a little texture, and comes with a nice coordinating spool of thread. Unfortunately, we don't have the Sky Cabin pattern because she hasn't done printed patterns yet, but I can give you a link to go get that pattern if you're interested. Okay. All right. Let me make sure I'm not missing any questions. Keep them coming, y'all. I love that. Oh, I straight up can't see my chat over here. Let me hit refresh real quick. So I want to be able to see y'all. How fun. Okay. Then the other, I'm saving these guys for last of these bolts. All right. We got a couple of other one-off prints in. So this is, I think it's Veronica. Nope, Angelica. Angelica Family Fleur by, I'm going to forget her name, of course, Jessica Nielsen. So this is a white background with a little blue, like not quite a royal blue, like a cerulean phthalo kind of blue print on it. I thought this would make a beautiful background, a beautiful backing, and it coordinates with so many of the other prints and things that we have in here. So felt like we just had to have it. Then this is from Geo by Katie Larson. If you are very OG, you will remember the quilted necklace that I had that looked like a little collar. That was also designed by Katie Larson. So I've been a fan of hers for a long time. And I snagged this originally because of a quilt pattern that I am working on, and I'm using some of these colors. And I was like, oh, that would be a great backing. Like, let me make sure I get a bolt of that so we can make kits. Well, then Where's what I'm looking for? Is this what I'm looking for? Then Darcy made this lovely Astra quilt. Darcy, hello, darling. And this has a lot of the similar colors in it as well. So I think it would also make a really great backing if you do the Monica Astra. So another great backing option. We always need more backings around here. All right. And then let me actually show you all that Astra kit. We have a couple left. So this, I believe, is the baby size. So this size. How fun is this? This is a pretty intricate pattern. So if you're, not wanting to do the biggest intricate project in the world, this would be a great size. You could put another border on it, make it a little bit bigger so it could be a lap quilt. But we also have this kit available in throw sized. All right. So those 5, 6 colors from the new Paintbrush Studio Solids, that light blue background, the pattern, and then some really lovely sprout woven for your backing. And of course, coordinating thread. While we're talking Astra kits, we did put together this brighter, more summery kit for y'all that has some of the vibrant blooms prints in it, as well as coordinating solids, a lovely pink background, and this gorgeous fern backing. And of course, your coordinating thread. All right. Any questions so far? Hello, Jan. One of y'all said, I would prefer the flat stack stay as the panel. I always pre-wash, so it would be a benefit to have them all connected with fewer shreds. So most of them we are keeping as the flat stack. Something that we're finding is that folks are not familiar with flat stacks. So we decided to take one of each that we have in shop and cut them apart, because folks come in and they're like, I mean, those pictures look cute, but it's hard to picture using this, okay? And so the result is that we have some really cute fabric that has been sitting on our shelves all summer. And we realized that anytime folks get to see it cut up, it makes a lot more sense what it looks like and what you're actually buying when you buy a flat stack. So generally speaking, we will have, unless you're buying the last one, and this is the last one we have, we will always have the flat stack option as well. These are easier to ship too. So trust me, I love the flat stacks. But they're still a pretty new thing. A lot of folks aren't familiar with them and thus aren't comfortable buying them. So we want to make sure that y'all have that visual of what does it look like cut apart as well. Love that. Okay. One more bolt, and then I will do the thing I've been teasing y'all with, which is talk about these beauties. Darcy, please scream in your car or wherever you are, because the first bolt of rayon has arrived at String and Story on Main. And I don't know about you, but I just immediately need to drape myself in it. This is 65-inch wide, beautiful rayon. It has just the loveliest, I know very little about drape, but I'm going to show y'all anyway, because I know that that part's important. Look at this drape, y'all. Like, it's like hair, right? Do you like the hair commercial? It's beautiful, and it's this periwinkle with this richer royal kind of accent to it, and these pink and red roses, and I am just absolutely obsessed. So Darcy, I hope we're making ourselves clothes here soon. But for those of you who are garment sewists, Darcy is as well, and she's been begging me to bring in more garment fabric. And so I decided to at least get one bolt of this rayon in so that we could make a thing or two and have some fun with it. Okay. All right. So there's all of our one-off bolts. I can tap over and see your name show up. Oh, Selwyn, that was you saying about the flat stack. Selwyn, I love that you have learned to love flat stacks. I really appreciate that. Kyle, you're at Bernina University this week. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. Have y'all seen the new Cape machine? Oh my gosh, the little blue one. Okay, containing myself. You met Kate Brennan. Oh my gosh. I love that, Kyle. Oh, and so when I see you now, fear not. Fear not. Okay, well, Kyle, keep saying hi to everyone. If you haven't already, you also need to go meet Karis of the Modern Sewist. She and I have like mutual business crushes on each other. And it's so funny because she like sent me a DM about something last week and was like, I just think you're so cool. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just think you're so cool. And then we were like, ah! So anyway, go meet Karis if you haven't had a chance to do that, because she is a delight, an absolute delight. Okay, drum roll, please. I'm so excited about bugs and butterflies. I could just die. I'm going to do a very dangerous thing, and I'm going to balance my laptop over here. No, we're not going to do that. I'm afraid I'm going to knock it because I need to be able to show y'all these. Okay, so I ordered these a few weeks back when our fabric rep came, and I had seen them online. Okay, and I'm telling you this because the disadvantage that y'all are having is you're seeing them online. I'd seen them online, and I was like, oh, those are cute, like whatever. But I didn't think a whole lot of it. I was like, they're nice floor. I was like, they're cute, okay. And then I saw actual fabric swatches of them in person when our rep came, and my jaw hit the floor. They are so darling. The colors are so good. And they're just the right amount of sweet without being juvenile. Okay. And I'm just obsessed with how beautiful they are. So I'm going to actually come and I'm going to stand closer to the camera because I want to show y'all each of these up close. So this is Bugs and Butterflies. And it just, the colors, y'all, the colors. The sweet little floral. Look how sweet that is. Oh my goodness. This tile, what a wonderful kind of tone on tone almost situation, but with a lot of movement. There are snails in this one, and it's about the cutest thing I have ever seen in my entire life. I'm just dying. This is the most number of bolts we've ever ordered for a single line at this point in String and Story history, because I just couldn't say no to them. They're absolutely darling. So there are 6 different bolts. If you are wanting to mix and match solids in, I could certainly make some recommendations. Fear not. But I will also show you all the flat stack because we of course got that as well. And so in addition, in the flat stack, you'll see there's these little like beetly prints and there's some little textured bits and there's ladybugs. And this one has like different bugs and caterpillars. It's just, oh, I love it. It's so darling. So this is our last big order of summer fabric for the year. We're going to start getting Halloween and fall in here soon. So like I said, if you're like me, you're like, I'm not quite ready to let go of summer yet. I want to make a couple more really bright summery quilts, or maybe you've made some bright summery quilts and you're needing some backings. These are your jam. Okay. All right. How much do we love them? How much do we love them? Because I'm obsessed. Darcy, I know we talked yesterday about needing to make fall quilts for the shop, but now I want to make a quilt with these. Okay. All right. I have a couple more kits to show you, and then we're going to do some sewing. All right. Sound good? And by sewing, I mostly mean like tracing and pressing because that's where I'm at with my applique. I wanted to play show and tell a little bit. So I already played show and tell with this lovely toad and sew sample that Darcy made. So much movement, so much vibrancy. This is, of course, made with the Woodland Creatures line that we have in right now. Darcy also made for her darling niece, and she's let me hang on to it in the shop for a little bit, which Darcy, by the way, I was thinking about it last night. You should snag this on Monday before you go meet up with your mom so it can make its way back to Sadie. It's for her niece, Sadie. This is Metamorphosis by Lo and Behold Stitchery. And the reason I'm especially showing it, not only because it's darling, not only because it's all new colors from Paintbrush Studios, not only because if you need this pattern, or if you have this pattern, you should get on with sewing it, but also because we have a kit. So we put together a fun little kit for you that you actually can make this Sadie quilt. So it has all the little purples and your background fabric. And then we put this fun little polka dot for your backing and even a little turquoise binding. And of course, pink variegated thread so you can quilt it up. And the pattern so that it is everything except the batting to make that same little darling baby quilt. So if you have a darling baby coming into your life and you need to make it a quilt, here's your kit. All right. Then I wanted to show you, I know but also can I point out that this new fabric that just came in would be ideal for making Metamorphosis because it is the things, which actually, let me peek at this real quick. Let me grab the pattern out. Yeah, you could use fat quarters. So you could use the flat stack and have like one print per butterfly. And I asked Darcy about the curves because these are half circle templates. And she said, certainly if you've ever set a sleeve, you'll be good to go making this pattern. And she was like, honestly, even beyond that, like it's a very easy curve to sew. So Darcy says it's easy. I think we can trust her. Okay. All right. Then last kit related quilt I want to show you is Summer Pop. This is the Block Party colorway. I want to brag on Amy for a second, who's been working for me over the summer. She has been one of my kids' babysitters for the last couple of years. And she and her bestie, Lauren, have been splitting babysitting days, but she wanted more hours to work this summer. And so I was like, I need someone at the quilt shop. Like, you want to come work at String and Story? She did not sew at all at the beginning of summer. And she pieced this beautiful summer pop top. Summer pop top. That's a whole mouthful. And this is the Block Party colorway. So we have a few of these left. If you love those bright citrusy tones, snag yourself a kit. Okay. Did I cover all my kits? Oh, yes. And then we have one last of this Astra kit that we showed off last week or on Monday of the pinks with the green background. So basically the inverse of the big one Darcy made on the wall. Okay. Okay. Whew. So much show and tell. How do y'all feel about that? What's your favorite thing that I showed you today? I actually have one more thing to show you, but it is our transition thing. So I want y'all to answer first. What's your favorite thing that I just shared? I'm going to rearrange this table a little bit so y'all can actually see me when I sit down. Otherwise, I'm just going to be hidden behind all of these darling things. I like big bolts and I cannot lie. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. I will slide those back in a minute. But now y'all at least have a clear visual for me to scoot y'all up. Whoops, we're tangled on the cord. And we can do a little bit of stitching and whatnot together. How does that sound? All right, what's your favorite? And then I have one more top to show y'all. Let's see, how are we supposed to pick a favorite? I know, right? Okay, yes. Amy did an amazing job. I'm so proud of her. Like, can you imagine being 19 and she just kind of was like, yeah, sure, whatever. When I asked her if she wanted to work in here, she had no idea what she was getting into. And we started her with cutting fat quarters. And then I had her do some trimming on my rhythm quilt. Things just escalated. Things escalated quickly. She did amazing. Let's see. Metamorphosis is Gail's favorite. Yvonne says, I love those bugs and butterflies. May have to buy the flat stack. Isn't it darling? It's so darling. Like it does for me, I didn't think it translated as well online how really lovely it is. Like it's just playful and cheerful. And I kind of need a quilt in it. It's gonna have to be a fast quilt because I've got a backlog over here. Let's see. One of y'all said, Joy says, I love your shop show and tell. I need the color charm packs. Yes. Gail loves the original Astra as well. Love show and tell, like that orangey red bolt with the colorful designs. Let's see on top. Oh yeah, this one. It's called Medallion, and I love it. By the way, everything that I showed y'all today, of course, it's in the shop, but it's specifically in the featured section of the shop. So if you go to stringandstory.com/shop and you're like, there's a lot going on in here, click featured, and that will get y'all to this stuff faster. Okay. All the thread, listen, all of this thread, I'm obsessed. The Bird of Paradise box, I just would like to point out, would go really well with woodland creatures. Oops. Okay, I just slid it out a minute ago. Y'all saw me do that, right? Come on. No, I don't want to destroy the box. There it goes. I was like, we just did this. So this is, I'll just use this as my example bolt. The Bird of Paradise box would match all the colors in that line so nicely. Just saying. All right. Now, speaking of the thread boxes and color builders, Kate Brennan left one more treasure with me. And that is her completed Color Builders 2022 top. How stunning is this, y'all? I don't think y'all can see the bottom row. Hang on. Whoop. There we go. Now you can see the bottom row too. Okay. How stunning is this? And I get to long arm this, which I cannot wait to do. But I wanted to hold it up and show you because I think we are right at the point in a block of the month where it starts to feel like we've kind of been in it forever. And it can feel hard to keep going. You're like, man, I've been working on this thing forever and I do not know if I am seeing the progress that I want to see, I had to get more fusible out, y'all. And so I want to show y'all that just to show you how beautiful this block of the month is going to be and how worth it it's going to be. All right. So if you, like me, have been feeling a little like, whew, we have been in this for a minute, let that encourage you that the final product is going to be absolutely stunning. All right. Okay. Let's see if we can figure out where I was on some of this tracing. I think I was working my way down here. 5A, 4A. All right, I asked y'all your favorite. That is a Essex linen that she uses the background. The closest thing we have in the shop, we have a decent amount of, actually, this is probably just the closest regardless. This is a little bit bluer. Let me figure out what I want to show y'all. Both of these are a little bit bluer. Okay, so the closest we have in the shop is Sprout Wovens. So this lighter one is Mountain Ridge. I'll scoot this over so y'all can see it. So this is Mountain Ridge. Actually, that's a pretty close match. That's closer than I thought it would. If you wanted to go a little darker and a little bit bluer, you could go Obsidian. So I know we're pretty far into this right now, so you may be thinking, well, I don't want to switch backgrounds now. But if you wanted some inspiration for a darker background heading into colder months, there you have it. All right. What was I saying? I don't remember. It'll come back to my brain in a minute. Oh, I asked y'all what y'all's favorites are, but I also want to know, what are you working on this week? Who's joining for the Astra Quilt Along? All of that. And while you're typing that, as I'm tracing, I want to give y'all the update on our transition to YouTube. Okay, y'all have been really patient and gracious that you have not bombarded me with questions about that, but it would be valid for y'all to do so. So as you know, we have been doing social hour off and on, more on than off in the Quilting Rockstars Facebook group for many, many moons. And there have been a couple of times where I have experimented with going over to YouTube, and there are some things, as you know, that we do on YouTube regularly, but we're kind of returning to that idea, okay? So Darcy and I have been going live on Instagram on Monday nights, and those of you who are tuning in from Facebook, I know that a bunch of y'all were like, but what if I don't have Instagram? Like, how can I tune in over there? And then my Instagram folks, when I'm like, I'm going to be live on Facebook inside a Facebook group, a lot of them are like, I don't really use Facebook and I'm not in the Facebook group. Like, what do I do? And so we started brainstorming, you know, we really need to be on a platform that is just easy to access, that it's not another thing you have to sign up for. You can just jump on and watch. And that it's easy to click through from whatever platform you discover us on, whether you're coming from Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, or you're already on YouTube. YouTube provides a really easy central point for us to do video. In addition, the streaming service that I use, or the streaming software that I use, StreamYard, that we're using right now, integrates really smoothly with YouTube. And it's what, if you joined us for Bandcamp back in December, it's what made it so easy for me to toggle between me, slides, a guest, all of that. There's just a lot more kind of control in there. And because Darcy and I really want to be able to go live together, that's something that y'all have given us really positive feedback about, that you really enjoy when it's both of us, because honestly, we're hilarious together. I'm not even gonna like pretend to be humble. Like we have a great time. And as you mentioned, the audio on Instagram just never seems to work, right? When it's just me live on Facebook, I use my AirPods. We tried using AirPods this week, and then you couldn't hear me really well. And so being able to go live on YouTube and being able to use StreamYard is going to give us more options for figuring out actual microphones, whether that's one broadcast mic kind of between me and Darcy, or whether we figure out how to hook up lavalier mics and connect them to my computer. Because when I'm live via StreamYard, my computer is the hub of things rather than my phone. As you can imagine, I have more options of things to do on my computer. So this very long-winded explanation to say that as school is starting back, we want to be able to do more things while our kids are in school so we can be home with them in the evening. We want the two of us to be able to go live together. We want to be able to improve the audio and the lighting and all of that for y'all. So we're going to migrate over to YouTube, and we're going to start doing that on Thursday mornings. We're still finalizing the exact time, but of course there will always be a replay. That's the other advantage of YouTube. It's a lot easier to find replays on YouTube. Y'all know how to go to a channel. I can put together a playlist. It's just going to be a lot easier to go back to those things. Plus, I don't know if y'all have actually had this problem. I know I have had this problem that when we go live 2-3 times in a week, I start to forget when I said what. And I want to make sure that y'all are getting all of the information. So having one central location for all of the Quilting Rockstar community to be gathering each week, I think is going to make things a lot smoother. We can have one really big show and tell each week. Darcy and I can talk about our projects. Y'all can share about your projects. I just think it's going to be smoother for all of us. So we'll keep y'all posted as we figure out the exact schedule of that. We will probably organize things into seasons so that we can take some breaks around Christmas and then next summer when we're doing some vacationing. But I think it's going to help with consistency. I think it's going to help with audio. I think it's going to be like more entertaining, honestly, because you'll get me and Darcy more often than not. And I'm really excited about it. So I see here in the chat that a bunch of y'all love this idea too. You can stream your YouTube account through the Roku menu. See, and that's great. That's another thing. You'll be able to tune in from your smart TV, which when we're demonstrating techniques and stuff means you can see it bigger. So I love that. So Yvonne, that's what we're hoping to transition to, is really focusing on being live on YouTube. We will be doing a hybrid during the month of August, which will, like I said, we'll share more about that as we get a little bit closer. Because we're doing some special events leading up to Free Motion Quilting Academy. Y'all, in August, we're enrolling the 10th cohort of Free Motion Quilting Academy. What an absolutely enormous milestone. So I'm excited to start making this transition. It's not to say that we'll never be live other places, but it's really going to become our central hub. And I think it's going to make it easier for y'all to find things week in and week out. It's easier to schedule over there too. Like I think it's going to serve us all really, really well. So, okay, in light of that, I want to know what y'all are working on, and I want to know if you have any follow-up questions to that enormous amount of information and explanation that I just offered. Some of these shapes are really, really weird. I know how they fit together, so like I understand why they are what they are. Wait. Oh, darn. That was a duplicate. I went the wrong way on my paper. Well, shoot. Oh, well. All right. I was like, wait, I think I've already written this number. Yep, I had. That's what happens when I'm multitasking. Oh my gosh, Kate, I love it. Kate says, I remember when Free Motion Quilting Academy was just a little post-it of plans. Remember? I mean, Kate knows this. I've sent her pictures of, you know, back in the day when I was deciding what needed to be in what unit, and I put every lesson on a sticky note, and I had them on the wall, and I was moving everything around, making sure that the order of things made sense. Gosh, isn't that amazing? Jan's working on a popsicle quilt with a fat quarter. Love it. One of y'all is also finishing Summer Pop. Jan says, when do you sleep with all these ideas and work? So that's part of why we want to consolidate into a single live, is to create some more margin in our lives. Because as y'all have noticed, you know, my blogging continues to be sporadic. We're really hoping if we're spending one section of time a week live, then we can use the other time that we've now freed up to make sure that we're getting blog content up for y'all, things like that. I know, 10th cohort, phenomenal. Laundry basket, summer mystery, and neutrals. That's going to be beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. By the way, if you are here and you're like, what on earth is Free Motion Quilting Academy that y'all are just gushing all over the place about? Free Motion Quilting Academy is my signature online course. It is a 12-week course designed to guide you from being a nervous beginner free motion quilter to a confident intermediate quilter in 12 weeks. Though I will say many of my students, hold on, I'm posting this over in in Facebook as well so y'all can see it. Many of my students take a little bit longer to go through. You have lifetime access to the course, so it truly can be a work at your own pace. And when I joined the quilting world, I discovered that a lot of people had a lot of fear around free motion quilting, and I thought that that was really sad because I think free motion quilting is a lot of fun. I think it's really special to get to really do your own quilts start to finish. So I set out on a bit of a mission to make that more accessible, and now have had the enormous pleasure of guiding over 2,200 of y'all inside the academy. And I just think it is absolutely stunning and thrilling that we get to enroll cohort number 10 next month. So mark your calendars to jump in on that. If you're like, oh my gosh, I'm a nervous beginner free motion quilter, I think I might need this course. Yes, I think you might as well. And I would be absolutely honored to be your teacher. We're going to be doing a metric ton of content in the beginning of August to get all of your questions answered, because I want all of my students who head into Free Motion Quilting Academy this year, whether you're a brand new student or you're a continuing student, I want you to be able to come into this cohort with an enormous amount of confidence that this is the right fit for you, that you can work through this, that you can be a confident free motion quilter. Yep. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see. So, the reason I dropped the link, which the whole spiel I didn't say, is there's a wait list. So if you want to go ahead and get your name on the wait list and make sure you get the emails when enrollment opens, because we do an early bird special and you can save a bit of money on your tuition, then go put your name on that wait list, okay? Kate says, I'm sending an email to my Bernina owners about all the fun new stuff with BU before I clean the house. I love that. Y'all, if you love Bernina, hate Bernina, are curious about Bernina, want to know what's up with Bernina, this week is BU. And that is Bernina University, if you're not familiar. And it is essentially Bernina's big company-wide conference that they do each year where they announce all the cool new things. All the cool kids are there. I wish I was a cool kid and was there. I aspire in the future to be a cool kid and to be there. And by all the cool kids, I mean people who are actually connected to Bernina, the company. And Kate has been summarizing, especially for consumers who are at home, like what's going on and why it's awesome. So go check her stuff out. Jan says, I would advise anyone thinking of it to do it. I did mine on a long arm and it's been great. My long arm sat for 4 years and now I am off and running from the Free Motion Quilting Academy. Jan, I love that. I'll never get tired of hearing you share that. That is just phenomenal. Kate says, Free Motion Quilting is so good. Another one of y'all said, love the course. It was my 2020 savior. Who said that? Joyce, thank you. Jennifer says, me too. And Gail says, the Academy is one of the best things I've ever done in quilting. Y'all are delightful. Thank you so much for those kind words. Jan says, it's amazing to see where you were and how you've come and grown as a company. I'm so happy for you. Jan, thank you so much. I was feeling all groggy and having a bit of a time getting out of bed this morning. And then I paused and I was like, HollyAnne, I'm going to need you to stop and check yourself, because you should be feeling nothing but gratitude for the fact that you get to go up and go into the shop this morning and do these lives. And that was a really good, okay, where's my other half? And that was a really good reality check for me. And then I kind of paused and thought about that. I was like, man, yeah, that is really cool. All right, I need paper scissors. Hold please while I find paper scissors and tape. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing great. Okay. I thought I had a lot of scissors before I opened a shop, y'all, and somehow the scissors have only continued to multiply. And anytime I need the paper scissors, somehow mostly the fabric scissors have multiplied. That actually makes sense to me. But anytime I need paper scissors, it's a bit of a scavenger hunt. All right. Oh, Susie, I appreciate that. And I feel the same way. I have so much gratitude for y'all. Over the weekend, I guess what night was that? It was Friday. It was late Friday night. Aw, dang nabbit. Okay, before we do that, we're going to trace these since apparently we have to cut the other one out. Hold, please. Where's my stuff? Here we go. So many scissors, Yvonne. I so understand. So it was late Friday night. And those of you who follow me on Instagram have seen this. If you're not on Instagram, you may or may not have seen it. But we had a reel of me long arming that went viral over the last couple of weeks, and like quite viral. Like over 3 million views, kind of viral, which is very mind blowing to me. And it was that little reel I made of me doing a meander and just saying, friendly reminder that this is the actual speed of long arm quilting. Because we see so many time lapse videos. I love me a good time lapse video. Like that's part of what's fun about social media, right? But sometimes I think it's important to remember that it's not as fast as the videos would have us think. And so I made a little reel about it, and it just absolutely blew up. And so over the weekend, the String and Story Instagram account. Oh, there's two. So I don't wait. What do you mean? Oh, I could just trace it. I don't have to cut it out because I have to tape it together, don't I? To make it big enough? Oh, I guess I could just trace it that way. You're very smart. Big brain. Big brain. Y'all are brilliant. I love that. So over the weekend, the String and Story Instagram account topped 20,000 followers. And I wish y'all could have heard the scream in my kitchen. Kate Brennan was there, which just made it like even better. And just the scream of just joy that I remember sitting. I mean, I remember sitting in my computer chair holding my phone during doing my first Facebook Live at like 11 o'clock at night in my pajamas with no makeup on, because someone had told me, that was the way to be connecting with people. And from the very beginning, the biggest thing I've wanted through String and Story was to build a place where we could connect and we could bond over quilting and, bond over FMQ and bond over projects and fabric. And yeah, my mind is continually blown by just the immense blessing it is to have all y'all here. So thank you. I appreciate you choosing to spend time with us week in and week out, day in and day out, to spend, money with us as customers. We do a happy dance over every single order that comes in, and that will never stop. That will never stop. Y'all cleared out on that thread last weekend, and every single time we got to pull more thread off the shelf and set it back to put in an envelope for you. Just the whole room screamed with joy. So, if no one has told you today how loved and valued you are and how grateful that the people around you are that you're here and that you matter in a community, like, let me be the person to remind you of that today. You are making my dreams come true. You're making Darcy's dreams come true. I hope that in turn, we're having the opportunity to make some of your quilty dreams come true, some of your community dreams come true. I'll never get over how amazing it is, ever. That's why I talk about it all the time. It's probably annoying. All right, still tracing. I'm using, by the way, this is soft fuse. I have not used soft fuse before. I was using soft and stable, and apparently this is supposed to be like a little bit thinner. No, well, no, I was not using soft and stable. Oh my gosh, HollyAnne. I was using Wonder Under. I was like, wrong thing. This is supposed to be a little bit lighter. So I'm giving it a crack to see how I feel about it. Something I do like is that it comes in sheets. So it's a little bit flatter to trace with. I don't have, it's not curling on me. But honestly, I don't know that that's a deal breaker for me, because I'm not the person who's bothered by things like that. Just got to be honest about it. I want to finish this tracing, but I also want us to pick out some colors, because I really liked that idea that fell out of my mouth earlier about mixing in some colors from the new solids from this 5-inch square pack. And I think I might have to do that on the block. That's feeling like something that I want to do in my spirit. You know what I mean? That's how it's feeling. Okay. Here's the thing though. Oh, I could just trace it even and then like even line it up when I fuse it, right? Correct? I think. Hopefully. All right, let me make sure I'm not missing any comments. Y'all are the best. Oh my gosh. Y'all are the best. And Debbie, I truly appreciate this tip of not having to cut it. I'm used to foundation paper piecing from last year where you absolutely did have to like cut and put it together. These little bronchial bits. All right, I know my chances on this are slim, but I'm going to ask this question anyway. Do we have any Lizzo fans in the house? I don't know that there's necessarily a huge intersection of quilters and Lizzo fans. I mean, maybe there is. Maybe I'm wrong about us and the type of music that we like. But if there are, how excited are we about special coming out tomorrow? Amy! Amy, I knew you'd come to my rescue. I was like, what else is on my mind? Lizzo's on my mind. Y'all, I did the thing. Well, okay, I had already done a thing. So Lizzo's coming to Atlanta the weekend before my birthday. So I'm definitely going to Lizzo for my birthday, which is very exciting. But y'all, I don't if you follow her, then you know that she did that thing where she like went out and made like the like hand glittered CDs. I put the okay, y'all have surprised and delighted me, and I'm thrilled by this. Yes. Okay. I love Lizzo. So some of y'all are like, oh God, Holly. I'm like, no. But she like went out and threw glitter all over her CDs. It was biodegradable. I watched her live to be sure. And y'all, I ordered one. I ordered a t-shirt too. So y'all are gonna see me in the You Are Special t-shirt this summer. Okay, hold on. I gotta go see whose names are not coming through. Alicia. Okay, Alicia, by the way, you have to come in tomorrow because we will be playing Lizzo only all day in the shop. Also, if you don't like Lizzo, this might be the week to shop online. Carla, Joyce, yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. I found my fellow fans. If y'all, those of you who are Lizzo fans, if you have not gone and seen my stories, there's a funny meme in there about Lizzo. So you may want to go check that out. All right. I'm delighted. If you are here and you're like, absolutely not, I do not like Lizzo. What do you like to listen to? I want to know. I want to know. Let's see. Savvy and I will be in your area August 5th. Will the construction be winding down? Kirsten, let me peek at my calendar and see what's going on August 5th. Let's see. That is a Friday, so I will definitely be here. Your timing is perfect, by the way, because the final weekend of July, the shop is closed. Darcy and I are both going out of town. We were like, we both need a change of scenery before school starts back. I cannot promise you that the construction is going to be winding down. For those of you who are on my local email list, if you read the email I sent out extremely late last night, like 11:57, it was almost insulting to say happy Saturday or happy Tuesday night, whatever night it is. I basically mentioned in there that we're going to have a pretty light class schedule for the next couple of months because we just don't know what's going on out here. They found a gas line under the road when they were digging. It was not on the maps. They were not planning to have to deal with it. And it's just going to take a while. I'm choosing my words carefully because my like level of personal frustration like isn't fair to anybody because it is what it is. Like it makes me sad because it's not cute and it makes it harder to get in here. Here's the thing though. Okay, first of all, I'm almost always up that late. I'm not always working that late, but I got in a groove last night. More on that in a minute. Let me answer Kirsten's question. So, Kirsten, we will be here. I don't know if construction will be winding down, but you can either park in the lot behind us that goes behind Pure and come up, or you can park down by the library or by City Hall and walk up the sidewalk. Okay. I recommend checking out the City of Duluth Instagram or Facebook page so that you can actually see the maps of how to get in here. But you got this. You can get it, like, it's accessible. It's just if you had experienced it when it was more accessible, you would understand the change in things. But we will be here. We will be open, and we would love, love, love to see you. Like, you'll make our whole day. Okay? Yeah. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Yvonne. So Yvonne, last night was the first night, and I think 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks that I like didn't have plans out of the house. So I wasn't teaching. I didn't have a meeting. I didn't, actually, technically speaking, I did have a meeting. I bailed on a meeting at kind of the last minute. I had a thing with Duluth Business Association that I was planning to attend, and I texted our president, and I was like, I can't be there. Like, I need a night. I just got to work on some stuff. And I sat in my loft, and Goodword has this new Season of the Whale English, like summer English bitter out. And I just nursed it for like hours, and I wrote that blog, and I wrote emails, and I put all this fabric in the shop and just worked on a bunch of stuff. And y'all, I was blissfully happy. I was blissfully happy. So I was up very late working, but I enjoyed absolutely every minute of it. It's also when I ordered my Lizzo t-shirt. That was one of my breaks. Let's see. Yeah, of course they did. Our neighborhood is crazy unmarked network of water and sewer lines. Yeah, so that's what they're doing, is they're updating the stormwater sewer line, stormwater drainage, whatever you call that. And no one has done construction under this road in 70 years. And so we kind of assumed they would find something, and they did. Yeah. Jennifer would actually know, because she is in fact a whole rocket scientist. It's amazing what's not documented in buildings, streets, computer programs, truly. And a gas line is serious. Like, it, honestly, we're very, 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 very fortunate that the guy who was operating the backhoe that day knew that he was getting down to like utility depth and was going very carefully, because he didn't trust the map. And I'm so thankful, because if they had broken the line, we could have had a really dangerous situation on our hands, and they didn't. They found it. There were actually 2 other things under there as well. I don't know. The gas line is the serious one. I know about it. So yeah, honestly, I'm surprised that they haven't found a body. Like, I just feel like anything's possible. You can find anything under this road. This was like a small railroad town. It had Wild West like periods. I'm sure of it. So yeah, at least it was just a gas line, So long answer long, there will still be construction, but we would be overjoyed to have you come in. Okay. All right. We are in our last couple of minutes here, and I'm mostly just running my mouth anyway. So let me do a quick recap of some of this fabric. We do not have social hour next week, and the week after that, we're going to be celebrating our Longarm Prep students. So if you don't recall, Longarm Prep is my entry-level longarm quilting course. I'm going to be jumping on with y'all in about an hour for another demo. And these students have been spending the summer gaining confidence on their longarm quilting machines. And so we're going to spend 2 weeks from now during social hours celebrating some of the work that they've done. I'm going to get to play show and tell with some of their quilts, which is really, really fun. But we're taking a break next week, because I've been doing, it hasn't showed up in the disappearing lake. Oh my goodness. I've been doing a ton of teaching, so I'm going to take a moment to kind of get my bearings next week, and then we'll be back to celebrate. And then in August, we'll be moving in towards having the new Quilting Rockstars YouTube show. Okay. Just to recap one more time, I want to show off this lovely fabric. This is, of course, the Woodland Creatures line that I got to show y'all today. And we're all obsessed with medallions there on top. I'm also pretty obsessed with these mushrooms, not going to lie. And then let me come around so I can pick it up without straining my back. That is really the last thing any of us need, is bugs and butterflies that just arrived last night. I cannot wait to see who is the first person to snag some of this. So bugs and butterflies, one last hail summer line. We have flat stacks of both of these as well. And then, of course, we have kits for Astra, for Toad Sew's Sky Cabin, which I think we'll be putting together a couple of more kits for this as well. If you're like, the fall colors aren't doing it for me, we might have to do something out of these as well. We have a kit for Metamorphosis, And we have some fresh thread boxes up in the shop. So Rockstars, thank you so much for being with me this week. It's been an absolute delight to play show and tell with y'all, to do a little bit of applique tracing, to banter back and forth. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Mwah!